I miss the old. This is SportsRage. I am Morency, level 2. I miss the old days when I'm watching a hockey intermission and I actually would know who the people are. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, there's a star player. There's a former player. These networks are so damn cheap now. They just have like a bunch of dudes there. Like, I don't know who the hell this is. Like, they all look the same. They all have the same hair. They all wear the same suit. They all sound the same. They all talk the same. None of them played. Well, they played junior or one or whatever because the networks are cheap. And, you know, whatever. It's one network that's cheap. And they don't want to pay anybody. So they hire these people like who does the Canadians games, McInnes? No offense to the guy, because he's not bad. What's his name? What's the Canadians play-by-play guy?
Last night it was different. There's Brian Mudryk and Johnson, I think, are the two best guys. But then on the off nights, there's two random guys I can't even recognize sometimes. Like, Mudryk is good. Johnson's good. But then there's, like you said, there every now and then. Last night on Sportsnet,
yeah, and they're the Montreal Canadians, too. Like you said,
you go to the fourth line. They don't, but every now and then I'm with you, man. You know how much I care about the Habs and watch all their games. I'm watching the intermission report and I'm saying, who the hell is this? And they literally talk about the Habs like they've never watched them play all year long. Slavkovsky's been on the first line with the Habs for like a month and a half now. And they said, well, we'll see how we can do tonight on the first line. You know, it's good for him to get that shot up there in the first line. Guys, he's been with Suzuki for 6 weeks. Yes. You know, they don't pay attention, man. They don't care.
No,
that's very odd in Montreal, though, because the fan base there is very intelligent. And if you were to watch that, you would think we got a real problem here. Like in the old, that could not happen in the past. You needed to be on point and know really what the hell is going on with that.
It's Rogers Leafs net, Cam. Rogers Leafs net, though.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone joining us on Sirius XM channel 159. This is SportsRage. You know what it is? They don't have English rights. The Canadians don't, put it this way. The Canadians don't care about English. They don't care. Like they don't go out of their way. They didn't hire anybody. They don't care. Right? Yeah. Michel Therrien, when he was the coach, I used to know someone really close to him. So I got all of these great stories. And it was his agent. He told him, he said, Michel, Bob McKenzie on TSN and those guys are really ripping you. And Michel said, who the hell is Bob McKenzie? He said, Bob McKenzie. And Therrien told him, he goes, only tell me if the Journal de Montréal or RDS television say something about me. Like he told him, I only care if it's the French media. Like he basically said, I don't care what the English media say. Like he's like, I don't even know who those people are. Like he literally didn't know the TSN people were. But he said, tell me, like, I want to know what they say about me here in French. And he used to take names and notes.
I love Michel Therrien.
He had a hit list, Ken. He'd be like, oh, yeah, Réjean Tremblay, X, like next to it. Like, okay, Réjean.
He's a coach machine.
Me? Yeah.
That's right. That's the best. He's got the list.
I got along with him because I never challenged him on anything. I thought he was funny because I was the post-game show host, too. I dealt with all those guys. I dealt with I was there with Mario Tremblay. He was a nut job.
Oh, dude.
I got along with the ones that no one liked. I got along well with Mario Tremblay. I got along really well. The coach that liked me the most, Claude Julien didn't mind me because I was the one that did the Bill of King of the Hill thing for the first time.
It's so dead on.
I used to have a column in a Montreal newspaper, and I put up Bill of King of the Hill and Claude Julien side by side. And the team thought it was so funny, they put it up in the dressing room and stuff. And Julien pulled me aside once in the hallway. And he goes, hey. He goes, are you the one that says I look like that cartoon character, the stupid guy on that show? And I was like, God. And the thing is, Julien seems like he's so nice and stuff on TV, right? The way his face is. He's actually pretty intimidating in real life. Like, he's bigger than you realize. Like, he's the coach of the, you know what I mean? He's an intimidating dude. Like, you know, well, let's put it that way. So he thought it was funny. He goes, the guys love it. They think it's so funny. And blah, blah. Like he told me after
he thought he was going to rip you a new one. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I said, he goes, yeah, I know who you are. He goes, I heard you a couple of times on the radio. And he goes, you do good work. Keep it up. I said, any chance of you coming on the show, Coach? He goes, oh, F no. No, that's not happening. He smiled. He goes, no, I'm not coming on your show. And he walked away.
Amazing.
It's like, well, I tried. Okay,
Worth asking.
McKay, so, Bucks and Lions. Who you taking in this one?
I'm just going with the under.
Under?
Oh, sorry, Cam. Yeah.
Oh no, he's talking to you. You're the guest.
You're out of here in 2 minutes, McKenna. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm going with just the under. It's all I have so far. I do kind of lean towards the Bucks. I mean, that's quite a bit of points here in this matchup. I do believe the Lions can get the job done, but also the way this Buccaneers team is moving the ball right now, the Baker Mayfield, he's feeling himself, man. I like that. But give me the under here.
9-3 is an underdog. Baker Mayfield this year. 9-3 ATS. It's quite a run.
Under in that game. Give me the Bills. And tomorrow in the NHL, we're laying the 1.5. Buffalo Sabres over the Blackhawks. Second half of a back-to-back. The Buffalo Sabres show up for these games against other bad teams. This, to me, is going to be a real good bet on spot for Buffalo. Don't mind the bad price here, guys. If you got to bet team total, bet regulation, whatever, puck line -1.5. I love betting these bottom tier games. Forget about the Leafs Oilers. Sign me up for the Sabres and Blackhawks game.
I like the Sabres. Yeah, Oilers just scored too. 2-2. Leafs collapse.
Oh, here we go.
Might be starting. Yeah, here it comes.
And in fact, our boy Tommy, who's doing the show right now, Master Control in New York, he was supposed to go to the Buffalo Sabres Chicago Blackhawk game tomorrow, but he doesn't want to go anymore since Connor Bedard's not going to be there.
Oh, you still got to go.
Hard to blame him.
And rightfully so, Cam.
I'd go to the game. Just bet on the Sabres, and they beat the Sharks.
You didn't go to the game when you were in Niagara last year. Tickets were like $30.
Yeah, but I was also drunk at the blackjack table 24 hours a day. What the hell you want from me?
So you wouldn't be going either.
No, Buffalo's not Niagara Falls either. They're different cities. I was in Niagara Falls. I wasn't in Buffalo. Wrong casino, Gabe.
They're pretty close.
Close enough, but not for me to get there drunk. No.
It's 18 miles.
Sorry.
I know. It's 18 miles.
Anyway, I was very happy in Seneca.
It's 18
miles. There. I watched the game with the dealers with Jack Eichel jerseys. Unbelievable. There weren't Eichel jerseys. I'm like, you guys, what are you guys doing? I ripped your city. Oh, okay.
All right. So are you sure they scored? I still see 2-1.
No, it's 2-2. Trust me. I'm watching the game. Edmonton scored. It's 2-2. 17 minutes.
Speaking of Eichel, guys, I got a buy symbol right now next to the Vegas Golden Knights. I got a new segment I'm doing, buy and sell, trying to forecast some teams. My sell team is the Capitals, and my buy team for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, is actually the Golden Knights. They're playing some tough teams. We'll get some good prices. I believe they turn it around.
The All-Star break's coming up, too, right? In about a week and a half or two, whatnot. It's the bye week of the Super Bowl, the week before the Super Bowl. So I like where you're going out, McInnes. Good teams, they want to step it up going into the All-Star break. You do not want to be struggling, right? You want to say, all right, we're on a streak here. Let's build on this. So it'll be interesting to see how teams respond going into this All-Star break. That's about 2 weeks away right now. Great stuff, McInnes. Wait to talk.
Later, McInnes.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco -120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Arizona Coyotes, we haven't talked about this game. Arizona are up 1-0 on the Calgary Flames. In Calgary, under 14 minutes remaining in this game right now. Let's bring in George Kurtz as his Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles bounced last night. George, you heard me say this, and I said this a lot throughout the year. I thought that the NFC East was overrated. The last 2 years, with the exception of one month of games for both teams. Last year, and it's just whatever, it's cyclical. It's not like you make your schedule. But the Eagles and the Cowboys have had easy schedules the last 2 years. All right? And this year was a little tougher, and then they ended up getting exposed. But I've always thought these NFC East teams, you get New York and Washington, man, right? They're never quite as good as their records are. And two NFC East teams in the playoffs didn't last very long in the playoffs, and they both got smoked. They got outscored by a combined score of 80-40, Kurtz.
Yikes. Hard to argue the point, and I'm not going to bother arguing the point. I mean, Dallas and Philadelphia, they both they didn't show up. Different reasons for both teams, right? I think you said it perfectly during the break, where Dallas, it might be a mental thing. And I can't argue with that either. I think there is some mental to it with the Cowboys, although I didn't expect it to show up in the wild card round at home. You know, in Philadelphia last night, I mean, I know they gave up on their coach, right? That seemed to happen for whatever reason. I would love to know the reason why. What really is going on there in that Philadelphia locker room that they gave up on Sirianni? They thought tackling was optional, right? It was two-hand touch. It was just like, you don't see that in week 7, unless in the wild card playoff game. Just very difficult losses for both teams. I mean, both teams. And I find it hilarious, by the way, that if you're on the boards today, for the fan bases, they're fighting back and forth. Who had the worst loss? Like it matters. All right? Look, I mean, are you going to feel better? The Eagle fans feel better the Cowboys had a worse loss?
No, for the record, just as an outside neutral observer, the Eagles' loss was more pathetic than the Cowboys.
I agree.
The Cowboys punched back, scored.
They tried.
You know what I mean? The wheels fell off, but they didn't quit. They played to the final whistle. The Philadelphia Eagles flat out did not care, quit. And I don't even know if quit's the right word, because to quit would imply that you were working at some point.
Yeah.
It was like, I think protest, George, is a better word of putting it. And there it is. The alarm is going off.
Yeah, protest.
Protest.
The Kurtz alarm.
Word of the day.
Cowboy, meh. Islanders, meh.
Protest. But you
don't
said
bring up the
what
Islanders.
happened.
Leave me alone, all right? Just leave.
We'll get to the
I don't know
Islanders in a minute.
what am I going to root for a team that's going to win another game? Did you see how the Islanders lost tonight, by the way?
You got the Yankees.
Did you see how the Islanders lost?
Yeah, you got
the Islanders
Yankees.
lost tonight because Sorokin made a save, and the puck knocked off his blade on his skate, and he couldn't get back to the other side to make a save. And that was the game-winning goal. That's how the Islanders lost tonight. It's like there's
you got a lot of positives, George. You got a wife and kids and a home, so it could be worse.
Yeah, that's why I'm not jumping off any bridges. All right, that's exactly why I didn't jump off the house on Sunday night. Okay, because I didn't realize.
Because you had a family.
I told the story a number of times. I'm sure I've told it to you guys too. The worst, as far as football, the worst loss for the Cowboys is definitely the 81 game, like the Dwight Clark catch. But I thought a really bad loss was the 2007 divisional game against Tony Romo, against the Giants with Tony Romo with the Cowboys. I thought that Cowboys was a really good team. And after the Cowboys lost, I'm sitting here on my couch. It's all dark in here. I have TVs on, but it's all dark. And I am definitely depressed, not happy. And then my daughter, my oldest daughter, who had just turned 1, just started to walk. I guess she was coming around here, and I see my chair move. And I can't see her, but I see my chair move. And then she peeks around the couch. And almost like you said, "Are you okay, Dad? Are you okay?" And that's when I realized it's a game. Yeah, they lost. Yeah, it hurts. But there's always another game. There's always another game for me to watch, me to fantasy-wise game, whatever. There's always another game. That gave me some perspective on life. My 1-year-old at that time, just the way she looked around, it was almost like saying, "Are you okay, Dad? Can we go play now?" That sort of thing.
Yeah, I get the same thing from my cat now.
What do
my
I
cat
get it
looks
from?
up at me and I can tell my cat knows something's wrong as I'm
your cat. What's up with the
Come
Bills?
over.
Your cat knows the Bills aren't doing their job.
No, my cat can sense my distress sometimes, Camp. But I've said it a million times. And just for the record, we have a couple of goals here. So a couple of minutes ago, I said, it was 1-0 for the Coyotes over the Flames. Then the Coyotes scored. And then, boom, Calgary scored right after, before I could even say anything. So just boom. There's been two quick goals. So now it's 2-1 for Arizona with 10 minutes left in the third period of play here right now. But I've always said this about people that overreact about their team losing and stuff.
Yeah.
If the biggest problem that you have in your life is that your favorite team lost, then you know what? Then, you don't have a lot of problems. Then you don't have a lot of problems in your life. Wow, there's another goal. Calgary just scored. They're on fire.
Wow.
Kadri just
thinking
scored.
about taking them live, but Arizona, they beat Arizona in Arizona. Calgary,
I'm seeing the goal.
Are you
right
watching
now.
this game, Kurtz? What are you seeing the game?
Yeah, I got all 3 hockey games on. The goal just happened literally right now in front of me. So you're about 20 seconds ahead of me. I'm watching the shootout here with Chicago and San Jose as well. I think Chicago is either tied it or is ahead. They tied it. They tied it the third round here. So Chicago, San Jose tied it 1 in the shootout here. And, of course, the big game of the night, Edmonton-Toronto tied it 2.
Who do you have tonight in the hockey? Just for the record, I'm going to jump in on the Flames right now. They're minus 135. The game's tied, 135, 9 minutes left. They've just scored 2 straight goals to tie the game.
Aren't they your bugaboo team? Aren't they a team you're not allowed to bet on?
Jets.
Yeah, well,
that's the Jets.
Right.
Jets.
I'm already on the Flames, so I'm not going to double up on them. I'm on the Flames already. Won with Winnipeg earlier tonight, bet against the Islanders. The Islanders just lost, and Dallas was very good for me.
I was on Dallas.
The Rangers
LA guys. Which team's become your team? Which one?
The Rangers are becoming my bugaboo team. A team I
Rangers,
can't win.
Huh?
They're whenever I bet on them, they just don't show up. And if I don't bet them, and I didn't bet them tonight, they of course play great and annihilate Seattle. They're becoming that frustrating team for me.
For me, there's another one too. I never am right with their games. Vegas. Always
for me,
wrong.
it's Nashville. I can't.
Yeah, Nashville. I just ignore Cam.
I'm with you, Renty. Like I was on Nashville against Vegas, and they lose. I'm like, why do I even touch Nashville games? I was doing so I got to stay away from that team. They're a problem. I agree, big problem.
Yeah, there's more than one. The Jets is more of in the past. It's been real. The Jets were a thing for me. But Vegas is a current thing. I don't like Vegas games. You know what I mean? It's too bad, too, because they're a good team. They're entertaining and stuff, and sometimes I don't watch their games at night because I'm like, I'm not betting it. You know what I mean?
Washington for me, Gabe. Washington. The Capitals are a weird team.
Huh?
Yeah, they mess with my mind.
I said it last week, Cam. I don't like I don't like that division, bro. Whatever the hell it's called, the Central, the Nashville's, the St. Louis,
you know, like the St. Louis,
the Chicago. I don't like that. Like I'm not dialed in. Like I do well with the Kings of the world. Like I love the Stars tonight. I had under 6.5. Man, but I was gonna say the LA Kings guys. These guys are really struggling right now.
It's a
They've
train
lost
wreck.
9 of their last 10 games, man. That's crazy.
They beat Carolina, and then tonight you're thinking. The problem with the Kings, I don't know, like, I just don't understand what happened to their defense game. Like, it's just one of these things. They used to be the best team. Like, they'd stop everybody, and all of a sudden, teams are just going up and down on them. I know the
They're going to get their
goaltending
coach fired, bro, at this pace. Like, because they have high expectations. They're going to get mad soon.
They're a Stanley Cup threat. Like, I love I'm not going to lie to you. At the start of the year, I thought the Kings are like the team, and they got problems right now.
Look at what's their schedule. Because speaking of, we were talking about this with McKinnis with the All-Star break coming up, like in 2 weeks. These teams are going to have to, like, at some point, put it together. Like, the Kings are, like, they're turning into the Oilers earlier in the year. Like, dude, 1-9. Next thing you know, you're 12 and, you know, if you lose 12 or 13 games, you get fired, bro. Like, that's the way this league works. They've got to put the fire out. Kings actually host the Predators on Thursday night, and then they get the Rangers.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles, ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
A lot of fun to do because you could kind of, you know, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. All right, these games are close late. It's 2-2 Calgary, Arizona. I know we got the Oilers and the Leafs going on, but I'm blacked out, so screw them. I'm watching this one instead. I jumped in on the Calgary Flames minus 135, and I did just jump on the Edmonton Oilers. I got the Oilers right now. Also, what was it? Minus 135? Minus 155. So I got the Oilers as well. This game is tied at 2. There's 5 minutes left there. So both these games, guys, are tied at 2. And I just took both Albertan teams. So I'm on both home teams. What do you have here, Cam? You have the Leafs and who?
I got the Leafs. I haven't touched the Arizona-Calgary game. You'd be shocked. I left that one. I didn't bet that game.
George, you're on Calgary?
He's on Calgary.
I'm on the Alberta teams as well here. But like I said, the Oilers are having a parlay along with Hyman scoring, which apparently I had but didn't have. So how nice.
They scored, but it was there was an offside. Got overruled.
That's the second time in a week that's going to happen to me, by the way. Assuming the Oilers win, where I would have won, but a goal was disallowed. I forget the other game, but that's a little frustrating.
Yes. So let me ask you. I was looking forward to asking you this, and I had a poll question up. I got a lot of responses on Sunday. I don't know if you saw it. I said for Cowboy fans, but I'm sure other people responded. But I basically said, all right, because everybody was making the GIFs, the memes, and whatever. Bill Belichick's going to take over at halftime and all this type of stuff. And Harbaugh is out there. Yet, Harbaugh and the Cowboys just seems like a weird fit. And at the same point in time, it's also a perfect fit. I'm saying this is a Harbaugh guy. Harbaugh is such a brand name, sort of like, just imagine the hatred, George. The Cowboys are already hated. Like either way, you get Belichick. But imagine if like Harbaugh was the coach of the Cowboys, the level of, and if they won with him, it would just be over the top. But it looks like the Chargers had a pretty good interview with him, actually, that he was impressed with what the Chargers told him. So, but let me ask you, if you had your choice, George, to take over the Dallas Cowboys, Jim Harbaugh or Bill Belichick, who do you want?
If I had a choice, I'd rather have Harbaugh. All right. I do wonder if the game has passed Belichick by. I don't like what he's done on offense. We all know his personnel decisions have not been good. It's going on, almost a decade now. They're just not very good here. So if I had a choice, I would take Harbaugh. That being said, and I did see your poll question, by the way. I always wanted to put it in there, by the way. I hope it's Harbaugh, just so as Gabe has to root for the Cowboys, at least a little bit.
I would, actually. I'm on board.
But I don't think either one is going. Harbaugh has his choice of where he wants to go, and then Dallas would be a destination, but he's going to want control. And Jerry's not giving that up. The Edmonton Oilers have scored, by the way.
Yeah, the Oilers just scored. Yep, 3 minutes left. Yes. Another collapse by the Leafs.
Any chance it was Hyman?
Ridiculous.
Any chance?
It was McLeod. McLeod, not Hyman.
That does me no good. What is it? The Clan McLeod would be Hyman here. So I don't think. Like I said, I don't see that happening there. I just don't, because he's going to want some kind of control, and Jerry's not giving that up. And Belichick. I mean, come on. Can you imagine Belichick allowing Jerry Jones to be in the meetings? Jerry Jones to do the 17 press conferences a week. I mean, Belichick gives up no information, right? Nothing.
I think he might with Belichick.
He'd get his wins. In 2 years, he'd get his wins, right? He's 15 wins. We know Dallas crushes during the regular season. So he'd get his wins. But I think he would have a stroke with Jerry Jones giving away all that information during those press conferences. He would just die.
Yeah.
There would have to be more of a collaboration. Things would have to change with Jerry a little bit. But they're both old. They're both running out of reach.
81 for Jerry.
Yeah, 81 and 72, man. That's like, 153 years old? Like,
it's a lot
Jerry didn't look good after the game, too. Like, he looked like Skeletor, to be honest. Like, he really didn't look good after that game.
Forever. I've been calling him Skeletor forever.
I don't know if it was the camera was so close, George. I was like, dear God, like, he does not look good.
You're right, Morency. Like, it looked like after, like, it looked like it was like so.
No, dude, I would have been like, we're going to the hospital now. Like, he's rich enough not to go to the hospital. Like, we're going home, and your nurse is taking a look at you. Like, you got to go lie down, bro. You got to go lie down, Jerry. Like,
he looked like Jerry.
Some sexy nurses rubbing him and stuff. I can just picture.
Yeah, exactly. Stay down, Jerry.
Think about Jerry Jones. I can tell you why he felt terrible after the game. All right, I was buying in a little bit that this could be the year that the Cowboys would get to the championship game, not win it, just get to the championship game. I thought this could be the year, and I am far from the most optimistic Cowboy fan, as you guys know. Right? Jerry Jones is the most optimistic person on the planet. He probably had them going to the Super Bowl, winning 58-0, and I can imagine what Jerry was thinking. So that loss had to crush him. I mean, absolutely crush him. I have to give him some credit for not going off the cuff and just going bananas and firing everybody after the game. See, that loss really, it's one of the more crushing losses in the Cowboys' history under Jerry Jones. I mean, it was over. The game started at 4:30. It was over by 5:15. All right, you heard Shanahan say today, right? They asked him, when did you start preparing for Green Bay? Middle of the second quarter. That's not being funny. That's about true. That's when this game was over. You just knew Dallas ain't coming back. This game's history here. That game had to crush.
And like Jerry said, it was the most painful loss ever, which is pretty strong words. And
I don't know about him.
One thing Jerry cares about a lot, I think as much as the wins and stuff, George, is the brand, the reputation, the fans. Like, basically, the fans leaving when they did in the second quarter. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, there's always that video of people running in early. I don't know why they do that, dude. It's dangerous in Dallas, but that's crazy.
Weird.
It's crazy that they allow that. Like, that Jerry Jones
is like, it's a standing room only thing. Is that what they're doing? Is that why they're running?
Yeah,
they said it was cold.
Yeah, there's a section in that end zone, George, like a party zone. You stand up at the back there. And, it's first come, first serve. So you run to the front. It's like people get trampled and stuff. It's like, what the hell? But there was the video of people running in. And, bro, like, people started leaving in the second quarter. Like a steady stream. Like, they kept showing the parking lot and stuff online. People were like, Cowboy fans are fed up. Cowboy fans started fighting with each other in the stadium and stuff. So when the fans start leaving, that's costing Jerry money. You know what I mean? Like, we're so bad, they can't even watch this. Like, you know how much money, like, was lost from fans leaving of 4 quarters, drinking beer and buying jerseys and stuff? They ain't buying nothing. They're burning jerseys. They're leaving, right? Like, that's going to really upset him. And I think that's going to come up about McCarthy. Going to say, sir, fans have lost confidence and are leaving the building, right? So what do you do, though, Kurtz? You're the Cowboy fan. Would you fire Mike McCarthy? Because he has done a good job. It's not his fault, per se, what it is. It just is what it is. Would you fire him?
I think you put it perfectly. It's not all McCarthy's fault. It wasn't all Quinn's fault. It's not all Dak's fault. It's a combination, right? McCarthy's not going to win you a football game, right? He's not going to out-scheme, out-coach somebody. It's not what he does. So in that instinct, sure. But who are you going to hire? That's the problem here. When they fired Garrett to get McCarthy, I know what I said then. Well, I hated Garrett. I don't like McCarthy, but I like McCarthy better than Garrett. I think the same thing's going to happen here. I think he'll hire somebody else. Okay, I like you better than McCarthy, but you're not going anywhere either. He's not going to hire a legitimate head coach because he wants to be involved. If Jerry truly wants to win a Super Bowl before he goes, then you have to give up control. And you have to hire a personnel man, and he's never going to do that. All right, so I don't think it matters. That's my bottom line is I don't think it matters. He's not going to hire Harbaugh. There's no chance. I would love Harbaugh, but he's not coming. Belichick, I could possibly see on the scenario you brought up, where it's a collaboration, but I doubt it. I'd like Mike Vrabel, but I think he'll have other opportunities. He's not going to want to deal with Jerry, so he's not going to have to settle here. I don't know who they're going to hire. Pete Carroll? I said I wouldn't be shocked, by the way, if it's Pete Carroll. That wouldn't shock me at all. I'll just want to jump over a bridge.
That would shock me.
I'm going to be more upset about who they hire than the Cowboys.
Funny.
Because they're going to hire somebody that keep better.
So you guys win 4-2, and it barely went over the line like sweeping. I don't know, George. I'm waiting.
That's all he wants to know.
I don't know if it was Hyman. Anybody? Take a look, Kurt Church, for you. You know what? To be honest with you, I hope you win your bet because I can't win the game. So I hope it was Hyman for you.
I hope the empty net's still going here. They still have 1:13 left here. Keep the empty net open.
No, Bouchard. Wrong guy. Evan Bouchard. No Hyman.
Why did you tell me that Hyman scored and had it disallowed now? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't say it. He said it. No. Gabe said it. Offside. Yeah.
I told you earlier.
He did.
You asked. You said, I got to play with Hyman. And I said, he scored, but they overruled it. They turned it back. And you were like, oh, God, I didn't know that.
More pain for George.
I didn't know they tied the game when I came on. I didn't realize it was tied at 2. Oh, well. 4 goals. I would have thought Hyman would have scored. Or McDavid.
So Edmonton come back and win their 11th in a row.
Yeah, well, this is heartbreaking for
They're
the
playing
league.
such good defense, man. If they can keep playing this defense, they are a legitimate threat here. Maybe they're the best team in the West, right? Right there with Penn.
Skinner's playing good now too, George. Gabe, he's playing really good. Like, have you seen Skinner's numbers during this hot streak?
They've
Guy's
only
on
given
fire.
up 19 goals in his 11 games. 19 in 11 games, man.
Like, the Leafs played well tonight. Edmonton just found a way. Like, we
were having an online discussion the other night on Twitter about I was talking about U.S. hockey. And U.S. hockey won the World Junior Championships, the men's. And now just this over the weekend, they just won the Under-18 Women's World Championship. Super impressive. Like, the development, they're just USA hockey is really dominant. And we were talking about international play because it looks like the Olympics could happen. Not this one, but the one after. They're going to have this little tune-up thing with the 4 teams and all this. But we were talking about goaltending. And about how stacked the U.S. is, right? The U.S. have like a ton of really good goalies. Who's Canada's goalies, Cam? As crazy as it sounds, this is what's nuts. Skinner is the best damn option. That's what it came back to. Who's better, George?
Let's take a look.
There's no options. It sounds crazy, but Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill, Carter Hart.
You're right. Carter Hart. Yeah.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6th and the 7th seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about 2 franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Well, we're in overtime right now. Arizona and Calgary are tied at 2. There's $1:57 left in the overtime period. I never win shootouts, guys, just for the record. So I'm warning you all right now. Like, I could be in trouble. But Calgary are going on a power play right now. Too many men on the ice. Whoa, Kurtz. You and I, Captain Chalk, let's go. Too many men on the ice with $1:57 left. Let's finish this now.
Let's go, Captain Chalk. Me and you.
I bet some underdogs the other day. You'd have been proud of me. I don't think most of them lost, but I took some. That's right. I was on McCann. One day I was on McCann. I was taking underdogs.
Oh my God! How did that not go in?
Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me. I'm not.
Oh my God! Look! The puck beat the goalie. Was on the goal line. I thought it was going in. I'm like, oh, they're about to score. Look at this. How did that go in?
I just saw it now.
I'm just watching. I'm watching the panel, and I just want to turn the channel. Sick about this crap talking about how the Leafs are.
Calgary's pressing. Another loss for the Leafs. They're going to go crazy in the media now. Over and over. Never ends. I personally think that the Leaf fans and Leaf media is very similar to the Yankees. I think you guys, you overreact all the time.
I'm actually
like Leaf fans, though, as a whole, like the Leafs win a couple of games and, this is the year they're going to win the cup. And then they lose a couple of games and you want to trade and fire everybody and the sky is falling. It creates this hectic atmosphere around the team. And it's just always a perpetual state of this. And my whole deal with the Leafs is, what do people care right now? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The Leafs are going to be judged by what happens in the spring. What happens now is freaking irrelevant. They can win all the goddamn games they want now. Nobody cares, right? They lose, the sky's falling, whatever. If they won, nobody, you're going to win in the playoffs. Win in the playoffs. They got some things to fix, but they're not really playing terrible. Like you said, they played hard tonight. They're not, you know what I mean? They're in the middle of the season right now. They're on a road trip. It's sort of like the dog days of summer in baseball, like right now in hockey, right? The season's starting to get long now. The days are long. Don't forget, too, players, they rarely see the light, guys, in day and stuff. People don't realize this. It freaks them out, right? You're playing a game, it's dark. You get off, you're getting on a bus, it's dark. You're going to a hotel, it's dark. You're getting on a plane at 3 a.m. on a private charter, it's dark, right? The only time you ever see the light of day is when you're going on a bus, on your team bus, to the freaking arena for a team skate. And then you're back to the hotel again. It's just, it grinds on players, man. That's like when people talk about the road. It's the actual grueling part of the trip. It's not like some drunk fat guy yelling in the stands. Oh, it's going to be loud in there. They don't care. 50 seconds left. Looks like this game's going to be going to overtime. So let me ask you, Kurtz, as well. RG3 has a lot of hot takes all the time. He throws out there. It's crazy, his little feud with Jay Gruden going on now. But he said that there's one guy that should coach the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't think it's crazy, but I don't think he has the football experience yet as a head coach. I don't think he's ready to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But we talk about bringing a sense of urgency, pride, fire. Deion Sanders, goal Calgary. Calgary scores with 16 seconds
Sanders?
left.
To coach Dallas?
Yeah, he said that
was
yesterday.
RG3's take.
I disagree.
Calgary just scored with 16 seconds left, baby. Not bad.
Strangovich. We'll take that goal there. We'll take that gladly there. So RG3 has a lot of hot takes. Sometimes I think he just wants to get his name out there with what he says here. No, he said 1 year really head coaching experience. You want to go to the Cowboys now? I mean, he's a former Cowboy. I assume Jerry Jones likes him. So I certainly wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility, by the way, because this would be something Jerry would do. What did you say earlier? Cowboy fans are all ticked off, right? Oh, man.
Yeah.
So we wanted to put Deion in there. Oh, Deion. Oh, he was great cornerback. The Hall of Fame, blah, 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 blah. I don't see it. I don't think it'll be a good move, mind you. I don't. That being said, would it truly bother me? Now that he hired top offensive coordinator, top defensive coordinator, but he'd have to do that, right? He'd be the Jimmy Johnson guy. People think Jimmy Johnson was a great coach. He wasn't an offensive or defensive guy. He was a great motivator. I can see Deion being that, but he had to have top coordinators with him here. I'd be biting my nails. I mean, I'd be like, oh God, is this going to hard? I don't know. I'd be a little worried about this. I think it could be great, or it could just completely implode and destroy this team.
Jimmy's halftime speech on the panel, I almost missed myself laughing. Michael Strahan said, "I'm gonna tell you guys, I thought he was gonna have a stroke game." I was just like,
I thought he was gonna drop an F-bomb. I was like, he's gonna
swear. The best
swear.
is the camera guy. They zoomed on his head so big and angry. I was just like, I go, yes, this is awesome.
He was shaking. He's like,
oh, no, he was it was
go
awesome.
Out there,
that
make
was
a
so
play.
fun.
Get back in this game. Make a play.
I was like, you got it, Jimmy. That was
awesome.
Awesome.
The Cowboys played well things. He didn't take crap like that. He said he just strangled it. He didn't be releasing people at halftime. That's what Jimmy did, right? He wasn't afraid. God, different eras. I mean, how many? If they just would have kept Jimmy for, oh God. I was hoping when he stepped into the Ring of Honor, I was hoping the curse was lifted. But no, apparently not.
So, how do you think Green Bay does now against San Francisco, getting 10 points?
Well, San Fran has been my Super Bowl pick for a long time, so I think San Fran wins the game. I don't think it's a blowout. I think they'll be able to keep it moderately close. San Fran is not going to run around. The combination routes that Green Bay ran, for some reason, confused the hell out of the Cowboys secondary. I mean, come on, guys. We never see that one catch. The guy's catching the ball. You might think that's a broad, before the game, when it's catch and pass. There's no counter within 20 yards, and the pass was a punt. What is going on in that game? Where the cornerbacks, the safeties had just no idea who was running where. I just haven't seen that. And that happened more than once, by the way. San Fran, their weakest part is their secondary. So I think they will give up some points here. But I think I just don't know if Green Bay can stop San Fran. They did a decent job on Dallas when it mattered. Dallas scored a bunch of garbage points there. I'm going to take Green Bay in the points here, but I think San Fran wins the game.
What's your pick for the Baltimore-Houston game?
Kind of similar here. I think Houston's a fun little team here. They got a puncher's chance here. But Baltimore, once again, it's Baltimore-San Fran. That's my pick here, so I'm not going to go against it now. I'll be rooting for Houston. I think they're a fun team here, but I think their Super Bowl might have been last week. At home, you beat Cleveland. The whole Deshaun Watson thing was great for them to see. But I think that magic has run out or will run out here. I think Stroud will have his moments here, but I think he'll make some mistakes as well here. I think Baltimore is the better team. I think most people think that as well. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a moderately close game. I don't think it'll be within 3 points either. Baltimore wins the game.
Now, the Detroit Lions or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in the NFC Conference Championship game.
Crazy.
It's pretty crazy. Like, and if Green Bay upsets them, like the Detroit Lions could end up hosting potentially a conference championship game, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would. They're even a higher seed than the Green Bay Packers.
Super Bowl game, Lions and Bills. For all the years of heartache, come back with the Lions and the Bills. It'd be great for both communities. If there's any
almost
justice,
just seems impossible that could happen.
Yes, it does. It's very impossible. But
it's getting close. It's 2 away.
We had a dream.
It's like 2 away. 2 wins away.
Hey, man. Crazier things
the
have
Rams
happened.
should have won Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if McVay had any kind of decent calls in the red zone, would they take 4 field goals in the red zone? They convert 1. You might win that game here. So this is the Rams.
He got super
really
conservative. At the end, too, and a lot of people didn't talk about it. I was flipping out on Twitter about it. He had 1 timeout left. It was like there was 2 minutes and 32 seconds left, and he just let it go. He let it go to the 2-minute warning. It's like, dude, call the timeout now, and now the other play, and then we're going to have the 2-minute warning coming up, and the game's on the line now. He isolated it to 1 play after, and then he took the timeout, and it was like, dude, yeah, good for you. You just took the timeout so they could take the knee 3 times in a row now. So, like, I don't even know why you took it now. Yeah. Like for McVay, who's a smart guy, I don't know what the hell he was doing in the last couple of minutes of the game. And, like, at some point, too, like, I'm not, I think Campbell at times is too reckless, but at some point, McVay had to realize, listen, we can't just get 3 again. Like, you know what I mean? This is 4-down territory. And then the play calling got strange and erratic whenever they got in, inside the 5. Very, very strange. Like you said, like the Lions were lucky. They won the game. I'm not taking anything away from them, but They were lucky to get away because, quite frankly, the Rams played better than they did as a whole. McVay just screwed it up at the end.
I've only seen McVay screw up a couple times, Gabe. The other one was with me and Corey Parson for the halftime show. It was Rams versus New England. He was at absolute, he was just, remember, he even admitted, wow, I'm here at the Super Bowl. It was like deer in the headlights. They didn't have a game plan. But, it's weird to see McVay struggle like that. It was shocking, actually.
He's a great coach, and I would kill to have him on the Cowboys, but he had a bad game. He had a bad night.
Yeah, he had a bad
night. One thing, though, and you saw it last night with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles blitzed a lot on Baker Mayfield. And there's one thing that Baker's good at. He's good, if you come at him. He'll get rid of the football. I saw a great highlight today of the audio of him on the field. It's pretty crazy. He even called Godwin out before he threw the touchdown to him. Mm-hmm. He's at the line, and he goes, yo, Chris, I'm coming to you, Chris. I'm coming to you. Heads up. And boom, a second later, touchdown, Godwin. And I'm like, oh, my God. He actually called it at the line of scrimmage in front of the Eagles' faces, and they still couldn't do anything about it. They got in his face, but it was a feature on how Baker processes stuff really well and fast, that he doesn't get credit for it. And they broke it down, and they were like, look, man, there were guys coming from both sides at him, but he identified it and didn't panic. He didn't change the play. He knew. He was committed to it, and he waited to the last second, boom, strike over the middle of the field. So Detroit with Aaron Glenn had success with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, when you blitzed him, he was ranked 27, 28. He's older. When you didn't blitz him and get any pressure on Matthew Stafford, he was the number one ranked quarterback in the NFL with his passer rating in non-blitzing situations. So Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator of the Lions, he blitzed the crap out of the Rams the other day, over and over and over. Run blitz, pass blitz, run blitz, 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 blitz. And they got burnt by Nakua on some slants, but it was a bend but don't break type of attitude. Baker could be successful, George, if they blitz him all the time. It'll be interesting to see. Tampa have dangerous wide receivers, bro, which gives them a legitimate chance to win the game.
They drop balls too, Morency. Think about that. Otton dropped a couple balls right in his hand. Baker's throws.
Evans dropped a touchdown pass.
Evans dropped a touchdown, man. You know how much money that was?
Yeah,
perfect
pass.
That would give him a job. His touchdown prop
was on point, man. Yep.
But bottom line is, listen, there'll be over props on a lot of their receivers. Evans, Godwin. You mentioned Otton, Cam. I'll have his over prop going here. Anytime touchdowns with them as well. And the same thing for the Detroit receivers. This game, once again, should be somewhat of a shootout. I know we didn't quite get there because the Rams couldn't get touchdowns there. And if the Bucs set up for field goals, they won't get there either, and they'll be going home here. Got to get touchdowns here. Can't set up for field goals. But I think it's going to be a nice, fun game, 27-24, somewhere around there. I'll be on a lot of overs.
And you can't overlook is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually have a lot of guys that have won a Super Bowl, played in big games in college. They're not like we're going to be intimidated. You know what I'm saying, going into Detroit. They have a lot of experience on that team.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6th and the 7th seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
A
lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. All right, Kurtz, I know you didn't get a chance to see the video that we played earlier in the day. This is play-by-play. It's like 16-year-old youth hockey league in Canada, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, to be exact. But here's the play-by-play.
The rush. Pulls it back there, and now Murphy. Murphy throws the pass across. And that puck's going to go out of play here, and that's going to do it for that sequence right there. 9:25 left. I apologize if I just damaged your eardrums there. It went right over the mesh, right over my head. So I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Everyone, people I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I apologize for that right there. And for saying, "Oh my God,"
bad for the guy.
Saying that. I'm sorry.
I love this guy.
Okay, so I'm just trying to catch my breath here.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so good.
It's too good.
There was a game. Baseball game. Did you see the game where the Yankees radio announcer got hit with a foul pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a big mark on his head. At least he stayed in the game. He screamed, but he didn't quite go
And what's crazy is our boy Andrew McKinnis actually knows this guy. So listen, this guy is going to get this guy's going to get all kinds of love, though. He's going to get all kinds of publicity. Like John Boy Media is over at Georgia. Your boy John Boy Yankee. He's been doing a lot of hockey videos. He's got a content to do. He's got all these sponsors now. He's got to spit the content out. So George, what's your pick? We got about a minute here. What's your pick? 30 seconds. Cowboys are out, so you're free to jump on the Bills bandwagon. Bills Mafia, baby. Bills or Chiefs? Who you got?
Listen. Do the Bills have anybody left on defense, Gabe? All right.
No.
At least it's in Buffalo this time, not
Rasul
Kansas
Douglas
City.
is back, George, this week. He's going to play.
Yeah, I did see that Douglas run back here. I think this is going to be a close game. I think you're going to be sweating this one out, baby. I love Josh Allen. He has to make the big play. Kansas City, though. Sorry, not Kansas City.
Oh, screw you, Kurt. See you, kid.